Hi, people. It is Katey here coming to you from day 9 of my Guardian Personalized Detox. Day 9, so that means 8 days of warm, clear liquids. And today was my first day where I start transitioning into semi-solid foods. And funnily enough, I've actually been craving the broths. And so I had broth for breakfast. I did have a little bit of the soup that I showed you yesterday that I had pre-made for myself as I transition into semi-solid food, but the broth is still feeling really good. It just feels like this giant like sponge, or I don't know, just this big flush through my system, just totally flushing everything out. And so I've actually really enjoyed the sensation of the warm liquid going through my body. And I want to talk a little bit more about that today because my body is just amazing me every single day on this detox experience. It is such a powerful machine. Now, I am a Guardian health type. If you don't know your health type, you can go to healthtypetest.org and find out what your health type is. I am a Guardian, which is in all of the somatotypes, which is ecto, endo, and mesomorphs. I am a pure endomorph. So for that body type, a little bit wider in stature, thicker bones, thicker muscle mass, and thicker fat mass, and also one of the most resilient body types out there, that we can really stand up to a lot of stress and a lot of adverse conditions, and we'll still be feeling pretty good. Nothing really stresses us out. Chronic stress we can handle, not necessarily saying that's a good thing, but our body can handle that quite well. And one of the other attributes of an endomorph body type is actually a really long digestive tract, which has a lot of benefits, right? Having a really long digestive tract is really important to absorb a lot of nutrients, because our intestines, once we eat food and it goes into our stomach and comes out our intestines at the other side, the intestines is really where we start absorbing all of the nutrients from the food that we put into the body. So if I have a really long digestive tract, that gives my body a lot of time for the food to swim through the intestines and for me to absorb as much nutrients as possible out of that food, which is really cool because it means I can eat a lot of food in different states and even raw state, right? And I can still absorb and extract a lot of nutrients out of it. Whereas people who have a shorter digestive tract, their body doesn't have the ability to actually absorb as much nutrients out of the food in a long amount of time because it's going through their system really, really fast. So those body types need to have their food broken down a little bit more. So really well cooked and steamed or simmered types of food is really going to be effective for them. That's almost like partially digested, right? So when it goes through their system, it's going to be really easy for their intestines to really suck up all of those nutrients. So for the endomorphs that have the longer digestive tract, we have the long amount of time to absorb all those nutrients, but that also means that we have a pretty long intestine coiling back and forth in our body. And that also means that there's a lot of space up there where the food can sit if it doesn't have enough food coming behind it or enough water to really flush it out of the system so that we actually end up excreting it out the other end, right? I did warn you there was going to be some poop talk here. And so this cleanse on the Guardian, for the Guardian biotype, is all about helping the body flush out any of that excess food that might be sitting in that long digestive tract of ours. Like I said, the long digestive tract is a beautiful machine because it helps us absorb as many nutrients as possible. But if we're not drinking enough water or having enough fiber to really help move everything through our system, we do need to help our digestive system really flush out any food deposits that might be sitting up there. Because like I was saying, if the gut is a really good area for us to be absorbing nutrients from, if we've got some food food sitting there for a really long time, kind of fermenting a little bit, we're also absorbing some of that toxicity in there too, right? So we don't want to be doing that. We want to be able to flush that out of our system really quickly. And so I actually went for my very first what's it called? A colon hydrotherapy treatment at the end of March. Now, if you haven't been to one before, it is such a fascinating process to go through. I mean, it is a little bit uncomfortable because you do have something going up inside you and water coming in and flushing out all of your system. But I tell you, I went to, how many was it? 4 in a row, like a few days apart, to give my body some time to relax. And this is probably going to be way too much information, but hey, I'm all about just putting it out there. I couldn't believe the amount of stuff that was coming out of me. Seriously. Like, I had been holding and storing that in my body for who knows how long. And so when even on the 4th one, there was still stuff coming out of me and I couldn't believe it. But I felt really, really good after I got all of those extra food pieces out of me. I couldn't believe the difference I felt in my stomach and just my overall sense of well-being. I really felt, very clean and very clear in my mind as well. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I am on day 9 of my detox right now, and it still boggles my mind that I still have stuff coming out of me out the other end. Now, I know that may be too much information for some people, but I mean, to others who are like into this kind of thing and into health, like poop can be a really cool thing. Actually, I've got a whole new appreciation for poop. And yeah, 8 days of pure warm liquids, and every day I was still having excrement come out of me, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, where is all this stuff coming from? Like, how much have I been carrying with me? And that's after I was just 3 months ago at the end of March, went through a whole series of colon hydrotherapy treatments too. So how much is still in there? And so it's just been a really powerful experience for me to honor my body and honor the fact that I have a very long digestive system, which is awesome for me to get all the nutrients that I need, but I may need to help it out sometimes by helping flush out my system so that I can really help just cleanse myself from the inside out. And it's just a powerful, powerful experience for me, tangible experience when I've done this 10-day detox before, that it's just, how is the stuff still coming out of me? And so I wanted to share that today, just to, we've got all these weird things about poop and, excrement and all that kind of stuff. And, it really is pivotal to good health, is to understanding our poop and helping our body get rid of all of the waste. And that's what this detoxing is really all about, right? Is releasing and cleansing. Oh, thanks, Jen. Woohoo! Guardians for the win. I love it. Absolutely. Love our digestive tracts, right? That's awesome. So I just wanted to share that. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.